Joe, my afro. Yeah, all right, so let's talk about this dream I had last night. I'm getting some vitamin D. I'm saying, this dream I had last night, right? I actually had two dreams. So the first dream, I can't remember too well, especially now I'm focusing really on the second one. But they were kind of somewhat alike. They were under the same premises of the world, right? So, you know, uh, the world changing like drastically right in front of you. So basically, I jumped from one dream to the next one, but it was like walking across the street. So in the next one, Will Smith was in my dream, right? And he was dressed like he was in that zombie movie, I Am Legend. So busted skid out though. When he was in the dream though, he was kind of running around like that too, but not like running. But he was kind of walking around like he was lost. But there was no zombie. There was nobody else. But well, there were a few people, but you couldn't. We didn't run into them too much. But we ended up in like this industrial area. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what we were looking for. We were just trying to find out what the world we were in was. Like, how did we get here? Like, what's this place really about? So we went into like this. Like, there was a bunch of like dirt, right? So there was like a bunch of dirt, like a whole mound of dirt. And there was these buildings, but you can tell it was some type of mine or industrial atmosphere, whatever. And like I said, there were only a few people around. They weren't really where we could talk to them. But mostly it was dirt, and you could see these buildings. It was all like grayed out. The sky was regular, but uh, Will, being curious as he is, decided to dip. He wanted to go down into this little like he wanted to go down and climb and find out what the dirt was basically. And when he went to go down in there, uh, because it was just like mounds of dirt. So when he went to go down in there, he started messing with the dirt, and he threw like a piece like the dirt up like this, right? And when he did that, this grid popped up, and like this huge grid popped up, and the particles from the dirt like went up and like stayed there, and then it exposed. Like it looked like it was like the Matrix, but it wasn't green, and they were shimmering. And I didn't think of the Matrix in the dream. I was just like looking at it like, and then he just threw little bit of dirt up, and this whole grid just popped up. It was like throwing water on something, and the whole thing was exposed, like a force field or something. And then we were looking at it. It didn't harm us or anything. And then we were looking at it. Then we turned around, and we seen more of the grid. And then we was like, this whole world is made up of a grid. The whole thing was a grid. It wasn't just where he threw the dirt at. And then I had to start thinking, like, what? Oh, I could peel off too. I could peel off too, homie. You know what your problem is? Shoot, I got a truck. I could peel off too. Anyway, people kill me trying to be hard. Anyways, so the whole thing was a grid, right? And then we looked on like top of the hill, and then that was a grid. And then the grid was just more and more exposed as we turned around and looked. And then we realized the whole planet that we was on was a grid. That like those particles showed up like wherever we looked. We weren't on the whole planet. We didn't look around the whole planet, but the parts that we saw, but we could catch the correlation. This whole thing is really something else. We don't exactly know what it is. And the dirt pretty much, to me, I mean, if I'm going to speculate, I'm going to speculate that the dirt itself that like there's something that could expose what this world really is. And I think, somebody's about to find out. Now, the correlation with Will Smith being in it, I'm going to say this. Actors and stars and ball players and all them, there's a lot of them starting to wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like Kyrie talking about flat earth, and then they jumped on him and tried to make him say that flat earth was not real, and they put words in his mouth. He never said it wasn't real. And then you can't say some of these things on YouTube because YouTube is like, nah, we're gonna, if you say stuff like that, we're gonna demonetize you, or we're gonna come at you in a certain way where we're not gonna promote your channel, which is, it's legal for them to do that. But I think just because YouTube and other entities have gone so hard in that direction to try to douse the light on people really starting to investigate what this planet is, I think there's going to be another angle to it. I don't think that, like, people are trying to do measurements and all this other stuff, and some people are coming out wrong. They're like, oh, the earth does have a curve to it. I truly believe it does. But then, here come homeboy again, trying hard. People are acting like this. People are doing all kind of stuff, to try to figure out what's what. But I think that whatever is going on is going to be evident. And I think a common person like me, if a common person like me in my dream can be mixed up with a superstar and we can both see the truth, I think that's what's going to happen. I think regular people and stars alike are going to find out the truth at the same time. That's what I think. I think it's going to be, and it's going to be so visible that no one can deny what's going to happen, what's happening. I think that once whatever is going on, people who are rich, people who are poor, near far, it don't matter. Everybody's gonna see the truth. And no matter how many people try to spin it on news stations and how many people come out and try to make you look stupid and try to say, nah, you didn't see that, just like they did with the UFOs in Chicago in 2009. They said it was a gas cloud, but everybody knows a gas cloud doesn't ascend up so fast that it causes a hole in a cloud. You know what I'm saying? Gas clouds don't move like that at that type of speed. So people, the pilots and everybody knew what they saw was a real thing. Everybody at the airport saw it, and they tried to make it seem like it wasn't a real thing. I think the exposure is spiritual. And I think that's why these people are having these dreams, because it's like a talented person. If a person is talented and you tell them that they're not talented, you keep telling a talented kid that they're nothing. That talent was given to them by God. Eventually that talent's gonna come out. You tell them that they can't run and they're gonna be super fast. You tell them that they're not smart and they're gonna be super smart. You know what I'm saying? You try to hide it and hide it and hide it, or they're not pretty, or they're not strong, or they're not good looking. You're gonna do all these things to hide this talent from people, and then turn out that they are exactly the opposite of what you said. So I think the effort to douse the light on what's actually going on, because I don't know what's going on, so I can't sit up here and theorize to the point where I can give facts. That's dangerous. But I can say this. I know there's a lot more going on than people say there is. And I know that God is getting involved. And he's like, I'm sick of this. Like, the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. And I think he's just going to get on board and be like, you know what? Let me show y'all what's really happening. You know what I'm saying? Let me show y'all where you really live. Let me show y'all what the earth really is. Let me show y'all what you really are as people. You know what I'm saying? And because we're being discarded all over the earth like we're nothing, and only certain people are worth living. Like, where'd y'all read that at? You know what I'm saying? That's complete garbage right there. Like, so I think that Christ is just gonna get mad. And we know what happens when God gets mad. Stuff just starts happening, man. And I think that there's this look, if God is talking to me, I'm just a regular Joe. Then God is talking to all regular Joes. God is talking to the people who are gonna listen. God is not talking just to be talking either. That He don't do that. You know, His word does not come back to Him void. God does not do things in vain. I think if He's talking, and I think if He's revealing things, it is for a reason. And if He's talking to a regular 52-year-old, you know, you know what I'm saying, dude that spends most of his time in his crib, back hurting and knees hurting, and ain't complaining about it, still loving people, still trying to keep my strength in the Lord. I think He's talking to all regular people all over the planet, regardless of the color, regardless of your birthright, regardless of your aspirations, regardless of who other people tell you that you are or you are not, regardless of your bank account, and regardless of your religion, regardless of your, who you worship. I think Christ is breaking through all that. And if you haven't read the Bible, God always speaks in dreams. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't mean to be too lengthy, but I'm out here getting some vitamin D, sun. I just wanted to tell y'all about that dream because it wasn't an accident. And I suspect that there are going to be a lot more of those dreams popping up. It was amazing to see. It's like the dirt went up and you were just looking. And everywhere you looked, there was just this grid, and it was like shimmering, like you could take like a computer block out of it, like a pixel. It was pixelating. And it looked like you can just walk up to it, and we touched it, and it didn't harm us or anything, so it wasn't like a fence, or anything like that. It wasn't nothing like that. It wasn't something that you could stick your hand in and get hurt. The thing about it, it just was. It was everything. And it just showed up. Like, Then we started looking around, and it was everywhere. So, yeah. I just want to hit y'all with that. God loves you, and so do I. Peace.